What if I told you that this
shocks me about this game? And that drew rim, it's still loose, Luka got it,
and this
he missed it, Mitchell!
were more difficult to pull off than this
Shea gets it, spins away, baseline shot, Shea puts it in!
and this. Sounds crazy, right? Well, in the second two clips that I showed you, the mission was simple: make a bucket and win the game. A lot of pressure, but the scores were tied, and worst case scenario, you miss the shot and you go to overtime and you've still got a chance to win. But in the first two clips, the teams were down by 2 points, and there's only one free throw left available to shoot, with not much time left on the clock. That's still a lot of pressure. Maybe even more pressure. You need to intentionally miss a free throw, grab the rebound and put the ball back up into the hoop before the final buzzer sounds. We've seen this happen twice in the past week, and we also saw Luka intentionally miss a free throw, grab his own rebound and hold on for the win when his team was up by just one with 1.5 seconds left. He had to do this to stop the other team having a chance of a Hail Mary win at the buzzer. So what is the art to missing a free throw successfully? And what happens when it all goes wrong? Where's the best place to aim if you find yourself in this situation? So let's break it down and even ask an NBA player their thoughts on this predicament. So it's a pretty simple setup. There are 6 players inside of the 3-point line, and the 2 low players, the defenders, are tasked with boxing out the 2 offensive rebounders. The 3rd defensive player is supposed to be tasked with boxing out the free throw shooter himself. The players on the outside of the 3-point line, we're not going to talk about them right now, but if you're on defense, when a shot goes up, it's your job to box out your opponent. And if you don't know what a box out is, it's using your body to get in front of an offensive player so that you can push them backwards and ensure that either you get the offensive rebound, but more importantly, they don't get the offensive rebound. So in theory, it should be impossible for an offensive player to get the rebound in that situation, especially when there's such little time left on the clock. There's only one thing you need to do as a defender, that's put a body on your man. You've got 5 defenders and 5 attackers, just stop them from getting a board. So how did Luka do it? How did Donovan Mitchell do it? And how do other great players do it? Let's take a look. This free throw from Luka is an intentional miss with a very low arc. You can see the difference between this and when he shoots a regular free throw to make it, the difference in the height that the ball reaches while it's in the air. As I've discussed in other videos, the higher the arc of the ball, the higher the chance of it going in is. I believe Luka did this on purpose so that a low arcing shot can directly rebound right back into his hands by being a completely flat shot. And that's why you'll notice that after Luka shoots the ball, he doesn't immediately chase after it. He in fact stands still until the ball even hits the rim and comes off to analyze the direction it's heading in and to see if it comes back into his hands, as nobody is boxing him out. This is exactly what he pulled off at the end of the game against the Spurs, and it worked perfectly. However, this time it didn't. So that's what Luka's thought process was. However, the shot didn't have enough power to rebound directly to him. So how did he still end up with the ball in his hands and be able to put the ball back in the hoop to send the game to overtime? Julius Randle has to box out Christian Wood here, but Christian Wood uses his 7'3" wingspan to deflect the ball over to the other side. Mitchell Robinson does a great job of hooking JaVale McGee's arm so that he can't get 2 hands up for the rebound. But the problem is, Quentin Grimes comes across with JaVale McGee instead of boxing out Luka Doncic like he should. Deuce McBride should then see this and go and put a body on Luka Doncic, but he doesn't do that. He goes for the ball as well. And with him and Grimes both going for the ball, neither of them catches it. It deflects to Doncic, who's wide open, seeing as no one boxed him out. He grabs it, and in one swift motion whilst he's in the air, he manages to put the ball back in. The game goes to overtime, he puts up a 60-piece, and the rest is history. So how did Donovan Mitchell do the same thing despite the Chicago Bulls boxing out pretty effectively? Well, the dark secret is that he didn't. He actually violated the rules of the NBA, and his scoring streak should have ended at 56, and he shouldn't have gone to overtime and got his 70 points. I want you to watch this footage very carefully and tell me what you notice. Watch carefully. Look at Donovan Mitchell's feet while the ball is still in the air. Let me play that back for you in super slow motion. This is why that's a problem. According to the NBA's official rulebook, the free throw shooter may not step over the plane of the free throw line until the ball touches the basket ring, backboard, or the free throw ends. If there is a violation and the free throw attempt is to remain in play, as you saw here, the ball is to remain in play after the free throw so that Donovan Mitchell can put it back in. The opposing team shall inbound on either sideline at the free throw line extended. So as you can see here, Donovan Mitchell crosses the free throw line before the ball has touched the rim. In fact, by the time the ball touches the rim, he's got 2 feet inside of the paint. The Bulls should have been given the ball to inbound from the sideline. So I told you guys we were going to ask an NBA player about this. So I asked the player who shot 86% from the free throw line on his way to 3 NBA championships all about this. So I want to know from your perspective, BJ, as an elite shooter that's played in the NBA, what are the keys to successfully missing a free throw and grabbing your own rebound?
Luck.
Well, if you were in that situation, down 2 at the line with 1 free throw, what would be your strategy? In your mind, where would you be trying to aim your shot? Where would you be trying to get the rebound from, etc.? What would you be looking for on the court at that time?
Well, I always was taught you want to hit the ball and have the ball go up in the air and allow your athletes, right? If there's a loose ball, the athlete, the guy who's the quickest, can jump the highest, will have the best chance to legally get that ball, right? If there's a loose ball, I want to give Dennis Rodman, for instance, every opportunity to have the advantage to get that ball, right? I want to have the best athletes, because if there's a loose ball, speed and quickness is probably going to win, right? The guy who can jump the highest is probably going to get that loose ball. So these guys are missing it. They're shooting direct. Like I saw Luka do it again the other night versus was it San Antonio? So yeah, so maybe those guys know something. Maybe there's a new formula that these guys have figured out.
BJ Armstrong and I have a podcast that you can listen to every day, Monday till Friday. The link is in the description. So BJ says that you should shoot the ball with a high arc so it rebounds high and the best athlete can get it. But I want you to take a look at one of my favorite endings to an NBA game. You guys know me, it's my Boston Celtics, and Jason Tatum used Luka Doncic's strategy of rebounding the ball off the front of the rim with a low arcing shot, which ended up in a great bucket for Jaylen Brown. Check this out. Jason Tatum actually missed the first free throw, which would have cut the deficit to 2, so they need a 3 off of 1 free throw. So he's going to go ahead and shoot this off the front of the rim. The ball comes back up. James Harden fails to box out Jason Tatum. Russell Westbrook leaves Jaylen Brown, who finds himself wide open behind the arc, and he knocks down the buzzer beater to send the game to OT. Because Harden didn't box out Tatum properly, he gets a hand to the rebound to knock it away from Harden. Smart fumbles it out to Jaylen Brown, and well, the rest is history. So the old school advice of shooting a high arcing shot is actually wrong. You want to shoot a low arcing shot, then you can try and rebound that yourself, and if not, the chaos that ensues should hopefully, if God is on your side, get the ball to the hands of yourself or one of your teammates. If you're a defender in one of these situations, the advice is simple. Box out, put a body on your man, do not allow them to get the rebound, because if they don't get it, the time will expire and the game will end. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe, and if you enjoyed hearing from BJ Armstrong, check out the podcast which is linked below. Monday to Friday we talk about all things NBA, and if you want more tips to improve your game, click this video on how to improve your rebounding thanks to the great Dennis Rodman. I'll see you guys in the next one, and make sure you get buckets.